I can't tell you.
He's a tech-savvy guy, gonna show you the way. You better load your bags, cause crypto's here to stay. Listen up, gonna teach you about this and that. But he's just a goofy guy in a straw hat. So join in and have a laugh. It's gonna be a good time, that's a fact. Information and crypto parodies. Sit back and enjoy the show. You just never know which way you'll go. So get ready for Digit Spin Crypto.
All right, let's take a look here. Got you everything on on track. Everything seems to be right. Apparently I don't have any music, but that's okay. I'll get the music straightened out. I'm still getting the new system up together. So you're watching Digit Spin Crypto. All right, right here on YouTube. All the excitement and interesting stuff that's going on. And we're going to talk about it today. Now, keep in mind, I'm not your financial advisor, so don't pretend that I am. I'm just a goofy guy in a straw hat. All right, let's take a look. I see a lot of you guys out there. We got a lot of folks out sitting on the sidelines. But I do see David. David's out there, and number one, and Antonio's out there. Rodney, Rich Welty, David Dye's out there. Logan Evan, good to see you, my friend. Great music. And we got Zach. Zach's out there also. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. And there's a whole bunch more on the sidelines, so that's okay, and that's good. All right, so what we want to talk today is about, what's going on in Electroneum. What's going on with the price? And where is it? Why is it doing such things? Where do I think it's going to go? Give you my opinion on that, because I always seem to have opinions on stuff. and all the other good stuff. Let's see if we can get the ticker up. Will the ticker work? There we go. The crypto fill-ins. All right. And what I have here is the Digit Spin. Oh, these guys definitely, they have something they wanted to say.
Be sure to smash our like button and subscribe to our channel.
All right, so that's good. If you like Electroneum and you want to get all the newest in-depth information, you're going to find it here on Digit Spin Crypto. No other channel on YouTube will give you the details that I do, especially about Electroneum. And, of course, we're starting to get into a lot of the NFT type of opportunities also. All right, so let's take a look here. I went to my handy dandy nifty digitspincrypto.com website, and you too can go there. Don't cost you anything, and it has the featured coin of Electroneum up at the top. So when you go to Digit Spin Crypto, you'll start off with the basic coin price, just like you'd see on CoinMarketCap, except I tried to make this a little bit more intuitive and helpful. And I have the Bitcoin analysis I put right underneath of there, the technical analysis for Electroneum. So Electroneum is an important part of this particular site that I've put together for the community. And of course, there's all the different coins. It's their positioning, the details, and information. Now, there's also a lot of people like the heat map, so you can get that here also. So, it looks like the plugin is not getting a response from the heat map folks. I'm going to have to go back and take a look at that. The real-time charts, so you can see movement and prices in real time in regards to any of your favorite coins. I did set up Electroneum ETN BTC here, so you click on that and you can get the real-time price. You can set it for the time frame that you want here, and you can get a real-time ticker and charting right on the same website, which is kind of neat. I grabbed that information from TradingView. Okay, obviously the exchanges, and of course we have the YouTube feed here. Now up at the top, you can click on the Electroneum featured coin, and that'll take you to there. Now I've tried to add a little bit of extra, but if we take a look, what we're looking at right now, we just popped up to 2.6 cents, so that's pretty exciting. Rick Hilsing, it hit rank 121, so that's good. It's pulling up a bit, so that's pretty exciting. It's good to see. And once we get the Electroneum back into that 100 and less where it belongs, that'll be real good to see. I'm going to answer some of these questions as we go along. Let's do the initial, and then I'll start going through your questions here that you guys are talking about. Phoenix Rising. Hey Phoenix, Electroneum champion of cryptocurrency. Congratulations to Dino and all ETN holders. Well, congratulations to you guys. You guys make it all happen, and have been holding on to it. You know, seen the value, recognized how undervalued the coin was, and the opportunity as things start going forward in this exciting market, that Electroneum is going to bring a huge benefit to those that are holding on to it. And it's well deserved, because the folks that have held on to it, hey Stephanie, see you out there. Yeah, I'm having a good day so far. The folks that have held on to it have had, the strongest hands possible. They weren't letting go of it. They had a grip on that, and they're the ones that deserve the excitement that's happening with Electroneum, and deserve to see it this moment where we're starting to get a good rank. Now, let's be honest too, and I'm going to go through the charts. It's just starting. If you take a look at the charts and you start doing some historical review, you'll realize we're really still at the very beginning opportunity. And I'm going to explain to you that not only can the price go up, but the sats, when the sats start going up, it's kind of like a bonus multiplier. Electroneum has been held down for so long that when it's time for it to shine, it's gonna take off massively. The 2.5 cents is just a taste of the potential that Electroneum has, and I'm pretty excited about that. So let's get back to this here. So the good news is you click on the Electroneum featured coin, and you'll get all of the good, juicy goodness of what's going on in the mathematics. Obviously, you'll have your price, you'll have your current volume, 5.5 million, which is really good. You start seeing, multiple $1 million of volume. I've rarely not seen the Electroneum value go up, and so that's good to see, and those are some good numbers to see happening. And in the last 24 hours alone, I give you a little summary here. It's been 26% just in the last day. All right, so you also get your sat value. So here's your dollar value, and then obviously our sats now are up to 43, almost 44 sats, so that's also good to know. I have obviously the additional sites here. I have to put the AnyTask in there, and then of course the technical analysis, and everything is in the neutral to buy arena, and you can change your hourly look if you want to look at it on the hour, the 4-hour chart, or the 1-day chart. All right, so this here comes in handy. It's a good place to go. If you set this star here. So you can click on, you want to watch that, and when you're on the home page, you can go to your favorite coins and see them here. Star the ones that are important to you. So I like to see my Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe some Polkadot. All right, and without logging in or anything, you can click on your favorites, and it'll just bring those up here for you, so you can look at your favorite coins that you'd like to see. All right, and so this comes in handy, and you can see the gains. Now you can take a look. The Electroneum's really stomping out everything, doing really well, and over the last 24 hours, 26%. So that's pretty spectacular. You guys have all got to be really, really happy. I can't imagine that you're not. Congratulations. It's good stuff. All right. Now, let's take a look here at the trading view. Let me give you a little bit of feedback of what I see going on here. So, clearly, and currently, I'm looking at the 4-hour chart at the moment, and I kind of use that as a benchmark for Electroneum, because Electroneum can be moved really quickly by somebody jumping in who's got, if they got a whole Bitcoin, they can move the price. If there's 5 million volume in a day, you can move the price. Especially when there's not a whole lot of coins on the markets right now. The people that have them are holding them. They're not wanting to let go of them. And let's see, no sound. Somebody saying no sound? You guys are doing all right? All right, sound's working good. All right, you guys got me concerned there for a second. I thought you weren't getting my audio. Okay, so I kind of look at the 4-hour to kind of get a retrospect. Now, I keep a track on this here with this converter. So turn my volume up. Well, I'm maxed out, and as far as I'm at the moment, I'm at like at maximum, and I'm going into the red zone. I'll try to move this up even further here for you if that works out. And let's see if that helps out if you guys want more volume. All right. And I got my microphone all the way up. So that's about it. That's all I can pump out of this thing. All right. So what I do is I take a look at this. I have a couple of indicators that I use, and obviously I look at the moving averages, and I've recently put up the VPVR for Electroneum, and of course we look at the MACD down here. Now, we've had ever since this started to increase here. We've been in an upwards in the upper half as far as the moving averages, and this is a good sign. We recently had the crossover, which is what they would call a golden cross here, which means they were looking for some expansion. And if we take a look at the 4-hour, over the next 8 hours, there's definitely room for Electroneum to continue this climb. All right, I don't know how far it will go. We take a look here. The candle wicked and ended at 44 sats, 44.9 sats. This also wicked to the 44.98 sats. So that's kind of telling me that there may be some kind of a selling resistance here. Somebody's dumping them at that range. I don't know if that translates into a dollar value, but at that sat range, somebody is dumping it, because it's happened twice so far in these 2 4-hour candles. So at some point they'll either run out of coins or give up and let this thing continue. So I see definitely potential over the next 4 to 8 hours to possibly continue here. Our last moving average took us up to this range here, and we are getting close to that. So that seems to be, at this. Now, if we take a look back here, all right, we've broken what was the top range in the previous mini high. So we're definitely in good shape. And if you look at the VPVR for recent, the VPVR, which is this here is volume. So you have volume of sales and purchases. Okay. And if you take a look, we had a lot of people were buying at this VPVR line in this range from the 34 to the 32 range. This whole area here, back and forth. Let's see if we can draw a little bit. This whole range here, people were purchasing up a lot, and that's why you have this extension that's come out. And if you notice, as we start to go up here, the VPVR has no feedback for us in the short term. So if we close this up and we take a look at what was going on previously, let's look at some previous history in the recent. There's nothing there, so price discovery can happen. And we can start to see more. We would have to go back a long time. So what I would end up doing is going back into the daily chart and going back quite, a year and a half or more to start to see what kind of values we can get here. So let's take a look, see if I can squeeze this out. All right, so this was our longest feedback loop that we can get. So quite frankly, if we take a look at this, let's see if we can move this down a little bit. All right, this next VPVR line here is where I would expect it to start to accumulate or to land ultimately. So if it overshoots this, I think it may drop back down to this 46 to 48 range in sats. And kind of sit there for a little while, maybe gel. We'll have to see, but we're getting a nice lift again. And then if we take a look at the last time, our moving average had the ability to go up to this higher amount here that you see. Unfortunately, I can't reach over there, but let's see if we can put the. All right, so this here. All right. It has the ability to move for that moving average to hit up there. Once it hits up there, then I would start getting concerned. So this is the reason why I'm saying we definitely have some growth capability on this, and it has the potential to. I'm not sure if it's going to do it on this particular leg, but there is potential for this to hit 5 cents worth of USD value. As we go along, because there's really no price discovery in the recent history. If we go back, let's be honest and let's take a look at this. If we go back historically, and we start looking at close to the last run, let's see if we can move this down. Let's shrink this up. All right. If you guys take a look, this little bit of climb that we're in here right now is minuscule compared to the movements that Electroneum has made in the past. And you can see the SAT values, had climbed, from that 82 sats all the way up to 340 sats way back when, and so this is the only other history that we have. And if we take a look, this is really where our next line of purchasing that happened. And that happened way back here, back in 2019. Okay, in November of 2019. So you're looking at, a year and a half ago. So that's our next level. Well, once we start to work our way up, I think the pricing will work its way back up to this area here, and that will give us that 190 sat range. So I'm looking forward to that for the course of this year. to see us back into this range. And the good news about it, at 190 sats, the value of each sat being so much more expensive, it has so much more value in Bitcoin, it makes the USD value just shoot up. And this is the reason why I was trying to explain that the price of Electroneum, let's go to the 1 hour here, can move dramatically in USD. All right. And the reason why it can move dramatically in USD is because when you're shooting up in sat value at the same time that the sat value, the sats themselves are worth dramatically more. It's kind of like a bonus multiplier when you play pinball, and you get all your scores, but you keep hitting this one spot and you get bonus 1, bonus 2, bonus 2, and what ends up happening is not only does the sat value go up, but then that bonus multiplier kicks in. So your pricing ends up, not going like this. It ends up flying your USD value. And when it happens, it's going to be pretty significant. So it's definitely something you want to keep your eye on. If you're not into Electroneum, you're at the beginning of Electroneum's potential to move forward. And I think that you're going to, the folks that bought down here, okay, that 16 sat range, they paid half a penny for Electroneum. In 50 days, we're back up to, 2.5 cents. Those guys are really excited, and congratulations to all of you, because you're up 500% in the last 50 days. All right. And, even Bitcoin, in this year, is up 10x. And maybe 12x, somewhere in that range. So Electroneum is starting to see its opportunity to come alive, and the fact that we're at 5x right now is giving me good signs in my brain, because when I go back here and I take a look, this little bump that has got us 5x from this point to this point is nothing compared to where Electroneum usually travals, and has traveled in the last year and what have you. We start getting up to this, 46 range, the 67 range, and then we break into the 100 sats. It's going to make a world of a difference in the price. And I think what we're seeing now, I don't know, why are we seeing this? Well, to be honest, let's go back to, we got it at 4 hours. This is obviously, 'tis the season for altcoins to have an opportunity to grow. Whenever you see Bitcoin, let's take a look. Whenever you see Bitcoin kind of flatten out, do its sideways things, a lot of traders will take that opportunity to sell off and put it into an alt, because then the prices of alts will jump. Well, when Bitcoin takes off again, it normally takes the alts and they have a slight decrease. However, Electroneum has been extremely resilient in regards to that matter, and has continuously seen at least an upward trend at all times. And you'll get this swing, but if you take a look at this, if you take a look at some of the guys that read the charts, the first thing, if somebody was reading this chart, the first thing that they're going to go and they're going to tell you is, oh my gosh, take a look at this bowl, cup and handle right there. And at the end of the cup and handle, whap, we got a clear cup and handle presentation in front of us. And, that's an extremely bullish indicator. And that's the reason why I'm, on the 4 hour. This is one of the reasons why I'm thinking we're going to continue to see Electroneum, move around in this range, and I believe we're going to see a little bit more out of it before it starts to level off. My goal is hopefully that we'll start to see these plateaus, and going forward where we get this kick up, we get a plateau across. Let's see, we go up, we'll get a plateau across, and we get a plateau, sort of like what the Bitcoin was doing and moving forward. Now, some of the reasons is that Electroneum, those of you that follow Electroneum, you guys know all about it. You know all the good stuff. And those that are relatively new to it, Electroneum was a coin that, you would have people mocking it because for the last year, the price was kind of 0.5, half a penny. It was kind of a stable coin for the longest time, no matter how much they put into place regarding Electroneum. And there was a lot of bots that would, kind of keep the price down so that they can buy and sell it back and forth. And I think that kind of caused it to stay there. Now, once you start having volume being attached to the Electroneum purchases, that changes everything because it can easily overwhelm that and start to see an increase. The other thing too is that the majority of folks that have a reasonable supply of Electroneum clearly know the value of the project, what they're trying to do, and what they're putting together. And especially with AnyTask now being a very successful platform, AnyTask allows people to go sort of like a Fiverr. You go there, you can purchase a gig, you pay for it with a credit card, but this allows people in countries that can't afford bank accounts to receive the payment in Electroneum directly to their cell phone. And this is a game changer for those folks that are having an opportunity to earn Electroneum, to earn some value, and not get killed by being crushed by a bank account. And that's always been the biggest problem. The Fiverr says, yeah, sure, you can do the work, put your bank account here. And the guy's like, yeah, well, that's my whole problem. I don't have a bank account. I can't do that. All right, and so now I can't work in the world economy because of it. Electroneum has solved that with the AnyTask website, and that's been doing wonderful. And every time somebody purchases a gig, it's buying Electroneum. Now, Electroneum, unlike XRP, they don't keep Electroneum in their back pockets to do that. It goes out to the market and it's bought fair and square on the table. It's just how it works. You can see here the price, even since the show, the price has gone up 43 to 45 sats. We're getting a little bit of pullback, so it's great to see this transpiring live right on the show, and the activity that's happening with Electroneum. And like I said, this is all new price discovery for recent transactions, so we'll have to see how this goes. And unless I take history from the beginning of time, we'll be able to get some some transactional history here. All right, but usually I don't go back more than than a year to kind of get a feel for it. It's not like Bitcoin, so we're gonna see where this takes off. I'm pretty excited about where Electroneum's going, and with the purchases of AnyTask and of Electroneum, and people that are just now understanding the value of Electroneum, what it can do, and how it's going to be very successful. And one of the main reasons is that Electroneum is one of the first folks to get an FCA approval. They're working that process now. It's been very painful and difficult based on the information I've been able to read about the FCA process. But once they do get that done, I'm gonna stick my neck out right here and now. All right, they applied in June, and that was supposed to have been taken care of. Now, if you guys watched my last video, you'll see that there were 200 companies in the UK that filed, and they were all supposed to be taken care of by January and approved. During that process, the FCA got 4 companies completed, 4 out of 200. Okay, and quite frankly, I don't believe it to be the problem of the majority of the companies dragging their feet. All right, so the governmental process, based on the information that we had, definitely has caused the process to slow down. All right, so they gave all those companies extensions. All right, now hopefully we'll start to see the ball start to roll. The fact that we've got a letter from a consortium in UK saying, hey, we're really worried about this. Things aren't really happening as fast as they should. I'm hoping that there'll be a few more companies that make it through the gauntlet by the summertime, when the extension happened and is 2. Hopefully Electronium is able to get things done to make that happen and get approved, get a registration number. I have a feeling that there's going to be a significant amount of companies that are going to have another extension granted to them to continue to do business until the registrations numbers is done. So, whether or not Electronium will have a registration number, by the time that the extension is finished, I don't know. All right, Electronium's clearly not going to talk about it because they're trying to get the process done. They're not going to be telling anybody what's going on. It's just not in their best interest, and nor to make waves or to kind of rile up the FCA or to let people know where that's at the moment. And what I am comfortable in saying, what I will say is that knowing the team at Electronium, there's no way that they won't get this done. They will take this to the mat, do what they have to do, no matter how long it takes to get an FCA registration. The team, Richard and Ollie and Chris and Jonathan, those guys are, the word not going to happen is not in their vocabulary. Let's be real clear about that. That's just not going to happen. They're going to get this taken care of no matter how long it takes. All right. And luckily they have a decent war chest to help them through there. And I think that they can continue to run down the runway in their underwear if they have to until this is taken care of. Now, once that's done, if we see the FCA registration take place, sometime, I'm going to go with the fact that the registration was good to the end of into the summer, and at that point they'll have to make some decisions, the FCA, of giving an extension again. I'm hoping that that's a logical place to say, maybe it'll happen then, where Electronium could get everything buttoned up. And at this point here, I think it's a 50-50 chance, in my personal opinion, and that's not guided by any information that I may have. It's just based on of what I've been reading and the difficulties it's been. For all I know, though, Electronium could be way ahead of the pack. They're a pretty aggressive group of guys to try to make things happen, and gals to make things happen, and they could be, but law of averages says that it could take a little bit longer. I'm hoping that they get that taken care of, because like I said, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Sorry about all that preface. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, once Electronium has an FCA registration number, all hell's going to break loose. Okay? That's my personal opinion. Right? Electronium there's no doubt in my mind that they have a lot of really exciting stuff, in their pocket that needs to be opened up when this happens. Now, they're not going to announce the number and then the next day all these things happen. And obviously, those things can then be activated, but that gives a lot of gravitas. I'm sure there's no doubt in my mind that they're communicating, have set up or communicating with companies, organizations, exchanges, governments, retailers, that once they have the FCA, they can start to look at activating things. And what those things are, I don't know, but it's pretty clear to me that Electroneum will have a good amount of stuff that they could re-look at, reconnect with, and reactivate. And at that point, you'll see a lot of exciting stuff. And when that happens, the value of Electroneum being used in all of these different processes, or applications or partners or whatever you want to call them, will intensify. And that's, I think, the point where we're going to see a significant baseline change in the value of Electroneum going forward, especially if they can get it to happen during this bull run. Now, we really want to see this happen in the summer, which will give us that 6-7 months, 6 to 9 months, 6 to 8 months of potential where Electroneum can really take off and capture the quote historical end of the bull run, which would be sometime between November and maybe March of the year after. So sometime, if we're taking a look, November, December, we'll start to take a look. I think may hit the maximum point. It could keep going into the first quarter of next year. Only fate will know. But what ends up happening with Bitcoin is that when that starts to fall, everybody starts jumping into these altcoins again, and then the altcoins get their peak cycle right after that, and then obviously they fall back down over the period. However, I'm not sure what's going to happen this year. I think that the cycle is going to be a little bit different for Bitcoin. I'm not sure we're going to see the type of retracement, the historical retracement that we're going to see a retracement. When you have a blow off top, it's going to fall. You're going to get the dead cat bounce. It's going to come back, 75% of what it was, and then it's going to just go down from that period. That's how Bitcoin works. But I don't believe we're going to see 80%, 85% retracements. I don't believe institutions will let the price, go down that far. So we'll have to see more and more. It just amazes me more and more. Folks and companies are starting to get involved with it. And I even read, I sent that out on a tweet, and of course on Telegram. Of course the Telegram's down below. For the Digispin Telegram group, a link to Forbes, and they were just outright talking about, maybe we need to start a new monetary system, and a new type of money, that's based on something different this time. And it kind of worked when it was based on gold. Maybe we need to do something different. And they're outwardly talking about this, in their, as an article. It's time for something different, possibly. So, who knows? So, going forward, Electronium's solid, doesn't use up a lot of electricity. It's got the instant payment capabilities. It's got a way to use it. What country would not want to include Electronium? You have the opportunity for your citizenry to be able to, do some digital services and sell it instantly to folks around the globe and bring money into the country. All right, that they can either that the citizenry can get a hand up and be able to earn. All right, that's an import into the country as far as they're exporting a service and they're bringing money into it. The value and I don't know if they have taxes there or how that works in some of these countries, but I'm sure there's got to be something. But now they have a way to be able to raise revenue for the governments, and there's no government in their right mind that wouldn't want to use Electronium. Wouldn't want any task to be available in their country. It's all positive. And every time that this type of stuff happens, we're going to see further and further growth. So the big question is, Dino, where can this be? If everything hits the ground running, Electronium is able to get their FCA registration this year, and that turns into an exchange, and that turns into this retailer using Electronium and other things that happen. Where do you see the possibility of Electronium? If everything fell into place, we clearly will break the previous all-time high. We're up at 20 cents. I think that's possible to do. I truly feel that that's clearly possible to do. Having said that, where do I think it has the opportunity? I think the maximum opportunity, if it was to blow this out of the water, I would be beyond shocked and surprised. But I think our maximum opportunity for up to the Q1 of next year, our maximum opportunity would be anywhere from 50 cents to $1.20 max. Now, having said that, crazy things happen in the crypto industry, and nobody ever thought Bitcoin would be at $100,000. I assure you, none of them thought, because they would have all held on to their Bitcoin from day one. If they even had a clue, they may have been like, yeah, maybe it'll be worth $10,000, And that number, $100,000, wasn't even. That was beyond. Unless they were nuts and they were like, yeah, it's gonna be $100,000, $1 million a coin, yeah, it's gonna be worth a Google, $1 trillion. You might as well just say something bizarre and stupid, all right? But there are realities now at this point that Bitcoin could be one day $1 million, and one day being within the next 10 years. So. You never know with some of these coins, and if Electronium will have a first mover advantage, being one of the first companies, never mind the first cryptocurrency, to have an FCA approval, which will be comfortable to the SEC to see that and be liked here in the U.S. If Electronium's able to flex that muscle, that first mover advantage, they could really get themselves in an amazing position. It's just one of those things you just don't know. But I'm looking at it realistically. where we have potential, and you guys see, when we look at this, let's go to the weekly. We start looking at this chart. All right, let's bring this down. I want to really make sure you guys understand this. All right. Let's go here. All right. So when we start looking at this chart here, all right, where electronium has been in sat range. Let me move my fat head out of the way. Where electronium has been in sat range. Okay. And, being up at its 20-cent range. Back then, the price of Bitcoin was so low that even at 380 sats, it was only at 20 cents. And when you take a look at where we are today, this is the little bit of run that we're talking about. We're still, it's not too late to still make money in Electronium, even though it's at freaking 2.5 cents. This is what I'm trying to explain, is that if Electronium was way back up here, okay, and up in this range, all right, like where it was here, Electronium would be worth $1. Okay, it's simple as that. And Electronium has been there at that set range before. There's no reason why it can't be at that set range again. All right, and we're looking at $1. Okay, so let's be real clear. $1 big. And I know a lot of happy guys that would love to see that. All right, it's not too late, even though it's at 2.5 cents right now. The opportunity to see the Electronium move its way back up into sat ranges that it has previously seen with no problem is just beginning. Where it's still dusting the floor. At 2.5 cents, it's just dusting the floor. All right, just to get back to here, we're looking at 6 cents. That's at today's price. Never mind what Bitcoin would go to. All right, so, 6 to 8 cents, somewhere in this range. So, yeah, there's a lot that can happen and be taken care of for a lot of people as we go along. Now, looking at this weekly range, Electronium's in a good place. Electronium's in a good place. Take a look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this here. All right. So our MACD, we had with that weekly range a fallback that just really put Electronium at a great position. When we had this golden cross here down at this bottom section here, let's put the paintbrush on. Once we had this golden cross right there, all right, which brought us to this point. All right, let's see if we can blow that up a bit. Oh. And it blew us up to that point. Once we hit this point, we turned a corner. All right, and we're starting to see. You guys, you see this here? All right, we're starting to see a nice ramp up as we're going along, and this average, all right, this moving average will go at least somewhere in this range. We're going to go from here all the way up to here at a minimum, all right, before we'll start to see a crossover. And I think that we're going to see some really good stuff coming out of Electronium. But I think we can hit that moving average way up here, and so that means we're only like a third into the lift off of Electronium for this particular area. Now, if we take a look at our VPVR again on the weekly, once we get past this point, there's a majority of sales for the last few years. You're looking at, for the last 2 years, this point that we're going into right now is going to be the resistance line. All right, that's where a lot of people bought. And the reason why it becomes a resistance line is those that had bought it may say, hey, I may sell out, I get my sats back, and there'll be a lot of people pushing. Once we get past this 50, somewhere anywhere from 46 up to 60, once we break past this 60 sats, this is all open. Electroneum will have the potential to shoot all the way up to this point here, which is that 170 sat range. All right. So that's my opinion. Let's take a look at the chat, see what kind of questions you guys have, because I'll turn it over to you guys and see what I can do, what I can answer, and if I can give you a little information on something that might be of value to you. All right. Real quick, looking at Bitcoin, let me just take a quick look. All right. Our charts obviously are moving sideways. We're going to have to zoom out to get any type of data so we can take a look. All right. So, yeah. So our MACD on Bitcoin is basically it has a huge amount of potential. And I'm starting to see this a lot. Instead of making these giant plateaus, we're starting to get these mini oscillations in place here. And this is kind of showing that. It's starting to show some weakness here. And this is the reason why you're getting this oscillation. If we take a look, the one cool thing that I see here is that we got, let's see here, chart here. We got one here. Let's go like this. So, we've got, we got a pennant. We're going to have a breakout of the pennant. It came in from the bottom. I would expect that once it gets its action done, it'll probably shoot up out of the pennant, only because of the trend is your friend type of situation. So I would expect that. But let's move out to the daily. Oh, my dog. Somebody, I guess, is knocking out the door. So let's see here. All right. So here's the good news regarding Bitcoin. On the daily, if we take a look here. All right. We're getting a crossover on the daily. Here's the thing. This has been a downward pressure. There's been more sales than there are buys. All right. However, the price has been going up or staying sideways. This is a good thing because this should be going down and it's not. Okay. When you don't see the price go down with the more sales happening over the purchases, that means that the price is obviously holding, and it's a very good sign. When this gets down, you figure this is going to figure about 3 days, unless this just barely touches into the sales area and then turns around again. Within the next 3 days, we got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and that kind of matches the pennant up atop. So I think the next 3 days we're going to see some chaotic sideways movement, and then after that I think we're going to see another leg up. It's going to shoot up again. So we'll keep an eye on that. That'll put us into what, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, sometime Tuesday, Wednesday. I think we're going to start to see motion up. The good news here is we're clearly still way above the moving average. Bitcoin can come all the way back down to 50, 55 and still be very, very, very bullish. All right. Even when it crosses the moving average, it always seems to be recovering. That's the standard when you're working with these bull markets. And during this period of time, no matter pretty much whatever you buy, no matter what altcoin, no matter how much of Bitcoin you buy, you think you're a genius because no matter what, ultimately the price goes up. And you think you're smart. So if you're new to cryptocurrency, don't think you're a genius. You can literally close your eyes, throw a dart, buy that, and we'll make money over the next 6 months. All right? It's not that you're smart. Okay. I promise you. Yeah, right? I've been through this. All right, let's get back to taking a look here. Let's put this at the hour, and I'm going to go back and take a look at some of the questions you guys had. Oh, stop drawing on the screen. I'm like a little kid drawing lines everywhere. Yeah. All right. All right, let's see what we got here. Why does CoinMarketCap say that ETN is not eligible for normal ranking? That's a good question. Because everybody else has no problem giving it a normal ranking. Right? And how it works is coins that have been ejected from the blockchain are considered in circulation, or of available supply. And you have your circulating supply, and then there's maximum amount of coins, there's circulating supply and available supply. And not everybody looks at the available, all right? Because if there's 100 coins that are in circulation and 50 of them are locked up under key, there's only 50 available. All right, but the fact of the matter is that there's 100 available in circulation. So this is what happened to Electroneum recently. If you guys watched the video a couple videos back, the circulating supply for Electroneum jumped from 10 billion to 17 billion, give or take a few numbers there. And the reason why they did that is because when Electroneum first generated the blockchain, they made the 6 billion coins. Let's use 7 billion just right off the bat. They used 7 billion coins for the people that did a crowd sell. All right, so they got their 7 billion. They generated another 7 billion coins, all right, which were going to be for the mobile mining capabilities. And so Electroneum has those under lock and key, and their only purpose is to promote to the folks. Originally was to promote to the folks, give them the opportunity to get an airdrop with a mobile mine type of thing. And it wasn't actually mining. It was basically an airdrop if you checked in so many days, and you would get that. The last 7 billion coins, 7, 14, 21 billion, the last 7 billion coins were basically in the mathematics of the blockchain. In other words, they haven't popped into existence yet. All right. So what basically happened is, obviously, the 7 billion Electroneum gave away to the mobile miners, maybe 3 billion. So there was 10 billion coins that Electroneum said, are available, because we still have these other ones locked up. However, if you use the proper industry standard, they were emitted from the blockchain code. They exist. Whether or not you have them under lock and key is irrelevant. All right, and they exist. They're available. They can be moved. They could be sold. They could be stolen. Anything could happen. All right, Electroneum has them under lock and key, but the big key here, the industry standard, is if the blockchain has emitted the coins, they're circulating. All right, so Electroneum had to modify an update to the industry standard to say, yes, we have 17 billion coins that have been emitted. So there's another 3-4 billion that are still in the blockchain that have to be mined. Okay, and that's done over a period of time. They don't exist yet. And when the proper time comes, they'll be birthed, sort of like quantum physics, they'll pop into our universe, and they'll exist on the blockchain, and they'll be available. So that's kind of the process. Now, the question was, why does CMC stick a knife in the back of the Electroneum by not accounting for them? I don't know. Every other every other coin exchange, market exchange, or reporter has understood the new value is 17 billion, and you take your 2.5 cents times your 17 billion. That's your market cap for the project. It's as far as CMC. I don't know where their head's at. I don't know if they're using the available, which would be, there's 17 billion, but you have 7 locked up. And so we're only going to use the 10 billion. Clearly they're using the original 10 billion. They're not timesing it out to the right number. Do they do that to other coins? I don't think they do. Is it because Binance owns CMC? I don't know. Can't answer that. But what I can tell you is that, people are using CoinGecko, they're using DigitSpin Crypto, and they're not using CMC as much anymore. Binance has done, I believe, a lot of damage to the CoinMarketCap site, reputation. And, I don't visit CMC like I used to. Clearly, I use DigitSpin Crypto and I use CoinGecko. So to look up information and pricing and what have you, I just don't go to CMC. I had a lot of problems with the site loading, this and the other thing, and then I don't trust the numbers that come off of it sometimes. So, and Electroneum is a perfect example. So your guess is as good as mine, and I don't know if that answered your question, but I don't know if you like the answer, but that's basically the details to it. Let's see here. H-Bomb saying, hopefully the demand goes up once all the remaining coins are in circulation, especially with any task in play. Those additional coins are going to take decades to be emitted from the blockchain, and that's the way it should be. We don't want more coins out in the environment right now. They should be earned or giving out at a proper inflation rate. And Electroneum has stated very clearly that they are going to keep inflation at 2% or less. So that's a very good inflation rate that can be emitted, and that'll be a combination. Right now, I think the blockchain itself is emitting approximately 1%, and the pre-mined coins that were originally used for the quote mobile miner, whatever was left of that, are being emitted at like 1% for promotional type of solutions, whether it be for any task or to to help a retailer get established, or something that's going to bring value to the project. I don't know what exactly their plans are, but their intention is to use that to promote the project, and at a maximum of 1%, also giving a total of 2%. Okay, so Dark Memer says, do we know the date of the next Electroneum halving? All right, so Electroneum was built on the Monero blockchain block code originally, and Monero doesn't have, what it does is every time there is an emission of coins, if it gives out coins every 2 minutes, it would minusculely, deduct. So let's say it gave 1 coin, for this 2 minutes. The next time it'll give 99.9998. Okay, and then the next emission will be 99.9996. All right, and so it instead of having a stair-step effect of emissions that are coming out half and half, the Monero code is a smooth parabolic movement of how many coins get emitted. So there is no halving. It's kind of like an instant deduction as it goes along over time. So there's no bang, zoom, everybody screwed, gets half, over time. The sooner you get in, the more you get, and over time it'll slow down and it'll get slower and slower. And that's kind of how that works. Yeah, Keith, no problem. I don't know, Keith. What's up with CMC? I don't know what's up with Binance. It just doesn't. A lot of it don't make sense to me. Let's see here. Empire seems like Empire goes. Hey, it seems like that some of the exchanges are scared of Electroneum. I think that. They act like it, but you know what happens is that when it comes to exchanges in the regulated countries, EU, United States, Canada, I guess, UK, there are certain types of things. If there's a coin that was a publicly created coin, like a Bitcoin, like a Raven coin, like a $1, and there's others where there was no, everything started at zero. There was no buy-in. All right, everybody could just mine it, and everybody just started earning it. It was an open project. That means that it clearly wasn't a security because everybody got into it when it was worth nothing. All right, and they all knew it was worth nothing, and over time it became worth something. And for the most part, there's rarely any person to hold accountable, or because it's an open source project. So those types of of projects usually have no problem getting into exchanges once the exchange has their attention, or has the attention of the coin. Coins that had crowd sales or ICOs have come under significant scrutiny lately because, the SEC has been, handing out traffic tickets to everybody, and everyone shaking them down for some money, and hence why XRP's in court right now. Hence why we don't have a ton token from Telegram. They just gave up, even after paying, fees, and there's so many that have gotten shut down and are gonna get shaken down if they're found to be a security. Now, Ethereum got away with it because even though they had a sale, Ethereum was able to get away with it because at this point the coin is clearly a utility and is used as a utility, and it's at a point where that's not going to change it. And so there's no way for them to say it's security at this point. And I'm not sure who they could actually. I mean, you could literally haul in, Buterin, Vitalik if you had to, but it's kind of an open source project. There's really nobody there, and this is the reason why the guy who called himself Satoshi Nakamoto is going to hold on to his identity for as long as he can. He's still alive. He's still around, and the last thing he wants to do is be dragged into every court across the world to explain this or explain that, or be held accountable, or to be responsible, or told to do this. This person is gonna let this play out for literally as long as possible, and that's how Craig Wright is clearly not that person, because nobody in their right mind would say I'm that person and take on all that responsibility and having to deal with governments. It would be a very bad move. And the guy's right. Satoshi, who the real guy is right. The last thing you want to do, let this all, once it's into the banks and the hooks are in it, and the government's got their hooks into Bitcoin, and the retailers and the Wall Street's got their hooks into Bitcoin, then he could kind of come out and say, yeah, those are mine. Those are mine. I live in Malta, and I'm going to start selling them, and I'm going to sell them only to governments over the counter. So any government that wants to buy some of these Bitcoin, you can purchase them from me. He won't dump them on the market. He'll say any governments that want to purchase these, you'll be able to purchase them directly from my account and directly from me, and this is the price you'll pay for it or what have you. And so he'll get a big check from some governments that'll buy those Bitcoin. He won't dump them on the market. He has companies that are based on the success of Bitcoin now that are in place, and of course he has well over the millions of the million coins, million and a half coins, I don't know, that he has in place that you wouldn't want to see the value collapse on by dumping them on the market. So he'll sell them to governments over the counter, and he will announce it at some point in the future. Anyway, that's my prediction on that. No, Elon is not Satoshi. Elon's going to go down in the history books of being an amazing inventor, sort of the Edison of our time. But no, he has nothing to do with Satoshi. So Crypto Man saying, I don't like to say it, but yeah, I see your thing there. Yes, you're right as far as the person. And I agree with you 100% there, Crypto Man. We've discussed this in length on the Telegram channel. I've made a pretty clear case of who I think it is, well, who I really believe it is, and but I'm not going to say it here on the show, even though it's written in the chat. Rick Hill says, could it be that Binance has interest in a competing company like ETN? I think that they know that they can't get what they want out of Binance. Binance is trying to take over or trying to beat out Ethereum, and they've created their blockchain with a virtual machine. And what they're trying to do is bully or whip up coins, projects to come onto the Binance chain so that it can wield some muscle, not only to compete with Ethereum, but to be too big to fail so that it won't be hassled. And if you take a look at almost every project that Binance is supporting, whipping up, fluffing up, they're all projects that were put on the Binance chain. And so those are the projects that they're going to support. Electroneum can't do that. It's just not possible. Electroneum's got to be its own thing. And therefore, there's no reason for Binance to help Electroneum in any way. It brings them, it won't make them any money, so they could give a rat's ass. That's my personal opinion. Can that change? Sure. Should it have changed? Should it be there already? Yeah, it should have been there already. But quite frankly, U.S. citizens can't use Binance, the global Binance, anyway. So as far as I'm concerned, I could give a rat's ass at the moment. It doesn't help me in any way. It may help you. You may be able to use Binance. I can't. Plankton saying Lunar Crush is good for social metrics. So he has a tip here. If you go to Lunar Crush, I don't know, is that lunarcrush.com? Let's see here. Yeah, so if you go to Lunar Crush, this is what Plankton was talking about, and you get your social listings, and this gives you a lot of interesting information. Let's see. Will that come up if I search it, or do I have to type in ETN? There we go. So you can bring up Luna Crush. We'll give you some pricing information, some volatility. But some of the nice things that it does is that it gives indicators regarding social media, the percent of rank, social scores. So it's just pretty good, and it kind of gives you a flavor or feeling, if people are looking at it, what the sentiment is. So, right now, Electroneum scoring 71 out of 100. That's pretty spectacular. And the reason is the ranking has gone up. People are really excited about it. 3.8 out of 5. Social impact and the price score. So, once this price starts coming up even more, this ranking will go up even further. But it allows you to take a look at it, which is neat. And then obviously they show you some of the most influential people on Electroneum. So you got Dr. Shepard, Mr. Ollie, our good friend Plankton, Anthony's out there, Blockchain Africa Conference, Belgium, Electroneum Dutch, Electroneum Uganda. So it gives you all of the different folks that are tweeting and talking out there. So that's pretty good. You can get additional stuff if you set up an account and get information. But it's all good. Dr. Shepard's always throwing out stuff. He's got a lot of good tweets. So very good. Nice, Plankton. Could that be because you were listed there? It's a great thing. I appreciate the tip there, Plankton. And I'm glad I was able to share that with everybody. And it was pretty cool to see you on there. Let's see here. Thank you all. Let's see. Please hit the likes. Oh, yeah. My buddy here.
Be sure to smash our like button and subscribe to our channel.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you're still here and you're watching the show, there's 51 people on the show. I don't know how many likes because I can't see it, but there damn well be 51 likes, because if you've been sitting here listening to me for the last hour and you're still with me at this point, knock it out. And if you don't want to hit the like, hit the dislike. I don't care. Hit one of the buttons, okay? There's no reason why you shouldn't if you've been here this long. Obviously. And if you think I've earned your subscription, do that also, so that you can keep yourself up to date. Well worth your time. All right. It cracks me up. So thanks for saying that there. Yeah, blame Christopher. That's funny. Dino's turning the chart into Microsoft Paint. Yeah, it does look kind of monkey, doesn't it? Well, the price keeps going up on the 1 hour, so we're still doing pretty good, guys. What does Digit Spin Crypto have to say about it? 26.26 cents. That's good. So we're up another 3% since the show's been on. So that's exciting. Volume is up a little bit. Again, this is digitspincrypto.com. I built this for you guys. I don't make any money on it. I have some links. I might get a referral. I might make 30 cents or something. But it's not like I make money on this thing. I built this site for you guys so that we had a pricing and information thing that was that respected Electroneum. Feel free to use it. If you have suggestions, you could drop them in comments. You can email me. If there's something, you can go to. Best way is to go to the DigiSpin Telegram. It's down below in the description. And you go right there, and you can punch out a suggestion. Hit me with it, and I can try to add it to make it more useful and available to you guys. But I kind of designed it for the community, for the Electronium community to try to get as much information as possible easily, you know. So do that for yourself. CoinSwap. I don't know about CoinSwap, H-Bomb. You want to take a look at, CryptoMan's been talking about BlockFi for the longest time. There's a pinned message in the Telegram, and you can sign up for that. You'll get some bonus money once you put $100 in there, and then obviously CryptoMan. I think he gets a little bump also at no cost to you, but that helps support the DigiSpin community. CryptoMan's an admin in a couple of the groups. He puts a lot of effort into making DigiSpin crypto useful. Same with CryptoDog. He's a top guy. There's a lot of wonderful folks that have helped me build the Telegram and keep people up to date. Never mind the amazing work of Plankton, who is at God level ability when it comes to keeping everybody up to date and saying hello and talking to folks and getting out nice tweets and what have you. So that's all good stuff. Okay, Malcolm Skinner saying, how do you buy Electronium? When I live in New York, I think it's restricted, AnyTask website. So, no, you can't use AnyTask to buy Electronium. Basically, if you followed all of the New York State rules and regulations, you would technically not have any way to purchase Electronium. All right. Now, folks that work with cryptocurrency know that they can get the Electronium like on KuCoin and TradeOgre, which are technically able to be purchased through if you go and do it. There's no KYC at the moment for TradeOgre, but it's for low volume. It's really a bunch of bizarre coins that people put in, the guys that put in there, and it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of some of the big exchanges, but you can buy and sell Electronium there in smaller quantities. KuCoin still allows folks from around the world to purchase on their site, so that is a place that you can do it. So, legally how it works is like Binance. They're legally not able to promote to U.S. citizens. But it's not illegal for U.S. citizens to buy and use Binance. So if you go, it's weird. They're not allowed to promote it and to do it. But technically, you could go and use it, and so, if a citizen goes out of his way to buy something from wherever, they went and did that. All right, there's no law that says you, Bob Nelson, are not allowed to buy this cryptocurrency from these places. The restriction is applied to the company itself, that they're not allowed to sell it to you. So, that's on them. That's on the exchange. If they sell it to you, they sell it to you. It's their responsibility to make sure that they don't sell it to you. So it's kind of weird. Now, having said that, Electronium will have more readily accessible ways for U.S. citizens to access Electronium easily without any fancy footwork on your part. So the fact of the matter is that look for that at some point We were all hoping we'd see it at the beginning of the year. I think that part of the process that Electronium's going through it'll all gel together once they get everything all squared away with what they're working on currently. All right, let's see here. So that's my personal opinion on there. And once that, and this is one of the reasons why I'm telling you, is that once it becomes super easy to be able to purchase Electronium in the United States, that market will have the opportunity to purchase Electronium. Therefore, a lot more people will be doing as such, and therefore the 2.5 cents that we're looking at now will be significantly greater than it is now. Just my 2 cents. All right, let's go back down to the bottom here. What else we got here? Oh, Jason got himself timed out. You gotta be nice. You gotta be nice on the channel, or the admins there on the chat will put you in a little box, put you in a little crib, and tell you now play nice with the other folks. Make a channel for that. Christopher wants me to make a channel for NFTs. Yeah, I've been doing some gaming on the chat on the environment, and I've been on the YouTube channel, and that's been all right. A lot of people have enjoyed it. They've enjoyed that there's other entertainment content, and so I do NFT games. I'm gonna start to get involved with more NFT producers. I'm working on some NFTs, Digitspin brand NFTs, and then I've done a little bit of my low battery. So I've done a little bit of gaming for like GTA 5 or what's called 5M, which is like a role play type of situation. It's a lot of fun, and we can do all sorts of really cool and inventive scenes and stuff like this. So I've had a lot of fun with that for entertainment to add to it. I am setting up Digitspin Gaming, which will be another YouTube channel, and at some point I will probably separate the gaming part off. I'm not sure yet. I'm getting it prepped. It exists. You could probably find it, or may not be able to find it because I haven't loaded a video onto it yet. But once I do that, it'll be available to search, and I'll announce it as such. But we'll see how that turns out. We'll go from there. Kryptonite goes, yeah, Jason must have been Kent. Dark Nina says, nobody cares about Cardano here. Yeah, well, there are people that care about Cardano. Everybody, and it's Cardano, it speaks for itself. There's a lot of value there. If they get the thing, publicly online instead of, test beds at the moment and sub-production environments, that'll be a nice thing for them. And there's going to be, Ethereum's going to have some definite competition between Polkadot and Cardano. Those two projects are pretty significant in abilities, especially Polkadot. The same guys that helped wrote Ethereum basically started from scratch and built what Ethereum should be by having the capabilities of having side chains that can process at the same time, that can be plugged in bridges, pair of bridges that allow other chains to be able to interact with the Polkadot coin, so that you can find a nuclear weight that's equal to all coins, and be able to then transact through that nuclear weight, basically. So it allows conversions and tracking, and being able to set up smart abilities, and it's the problem with Ethereum is that they can't just do the same thing. They can't just plug that in. It's already a live working environment with tons of money on it, and if it was to burp, it would collapse the Ethereum environment. So they've got to kind of encroach and Frankenstein changes as they went along. Of course, Ethereum 2.0 is a whole new bailiwick, but it's still not as good as Polkadot. So we'll see how that turns out for them. But those are going to be the three big combinations. Ethereum. The problem is that Ethereum has got the first mover advantage. It has everything on it, but it's reaching a maximum capability where it'll start to plateau. Once you start having so many transactions and the transaction fees are hitting $60, how can you sell a $10 NFT when the transaction is going to cost you $25, $30, $50? So what happens is that transaction doesn't happen. That sale doesn't happen. It lowers down the sales, the ability. So basically, there's a cap. There's a financial cap on how much the Ethereum network will be able to do, and that's why they're trying to solve it. And what they're solving it with is ETH 2.0, which will have different abilities and to be able to do some sharding and get more transactions through. But it's even 2.0 is not going to be as good as things like Polkadot. It's just not going to be. So, it is what it is. All right, guys. I think I've had a lot of fun here tonight. We've chatted for a while. We've talked about Electroneum. We've talked about some other coins. We talked about price and where things are, where it's going. We talked about Bitcoin and where I think we're going to start to see some stuff happening in 2-3 days. I'm going to call it a night. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.